Okay, I wanted to do a GoReact tutorial for folks. Want to show you how to integrate the GoReact tool into your Blackboard page. I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible, but after you watch it, if you still have questions, feel free to shoot me an email, sjay@msudenver.edu. All right, so what you're going to do is obviously go to your Blackboard page. I went to msudenver.edu, and then I hit faculty and staff. That gets us to right here. Where we need to go now is to Blackboard Learn. Okay, so click on Blackboard Learn. You should have gone through all of the steps to ready your course already. That's at msudenver.edu/ready. Actually, if you just go to the homepage, msudenver.edu, you'll be able to click through and be able to follow the instructions to at least get a shell up on Blackboard for your course and to get it somewhat ready. What we want to do now is kind of build it out as much as possible for using GoReact. So I'm going to actually, let's see if I can. I'm just going to use my internship class here. The reason being my public speaking online class has been built out and I don't want to confuse anybody. So we're just going to start here with the internship. Yours, whatever class you want. It doesn't have to be public speaking. It could be any of your online classes or any of your classes now, but because everything's online, that you want to use GoReact for. Okay, so what you do once you get into your class, you go to content and you can actually go to content or assessments. It doesn't really matter. It depends on how you want to organize it and how you want to organize your assignments. Anyhow, assessments. Okay, so this is the issue, or this is where you want to go to begin to use GoReact. So build content. You get a drop down arrow. GoReact is right here. Okay, you can see it right there. GoReact. Click on it. This is where you're going to want to create an assignment. So we're going to call this assignment number 1. If you want, you can add a description. You can add rubrics or further assignment information. The key here on this page is to enable evaluation. You have to hit yes, okay? And your points possible. Let's make it worth 100. Know that the points possible on this page need to match the point possible on the GoReact page when you begin to create a GoReact assignment, because there's another step. This is all on Blackboard, but in order to finalize everything, we're going to go from Blackboard over to GoReact. I'm going to explain that and show you exactly what I mean here in just a second. You can add whatever information you need here, change, add, take away, whatever you will. Just make sure that you do have the enable evaluation button set up. So hit submit. All right, so what that means is you now created an assignment that is going to show up on your Grade Center page. Click over there and show you what I mean. Okay, so see, assignment 1 is right there. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go back to the assessments. We have to click on this. All right, so while there is a assessment for our GoReact assessment right there into our assessments page. And again, you can do this in your content page. It doesn't matter because as long as you have the build content drop down, you're going to be able to see GoReact. Okay. Now I got to click on it. This is going to take us to a new GoReact page. Now, you're not going to see what I see here because there's going to be a page before. You're going to have to sign up for GoReact. It's totally free, and all you have to do is enter in your first name and your email address. Because GoReact is already integrated with MSU Denver's Blackboard platform, and the IT has already kind of taken it and onboarded it. You don't have to do anything other than input that information. You'll be all set to go. Okay, so create new assignment. A couple different things that you can do here, okay, which is great with GoReact. I'm only going to show you how to create a speaking assignment or assignment in which the student presents a speech, or even we can do a group speech if you want. But the good thing about GoReact is you can actually upload a previously recorded video and have your students evaluate that video. So that's what I'm showing you right here, okay? So stimulus. Or comments only, actually. That gives you the opportunity to create an assignment in which students evaluate a speech, all right? Once you do, I just want you to get in there. If you don't feel comfortable, mess around a little bit. You're not going to do any harm, but GoReact is really, really easy to use, and it's a very, very simple process to set up your assignments. We're just going to, again, do a speaking or speech assignment. So I'm going to go to Standard, and I'm going to hit Next. Okay. Now we got to select our options. Obviously, we said Standard. Recording. Private, okay? This means if you select private, recordings and feedback are only available to you and to the speaker, okay? You're going to be providing feedback. You're going to be making comments as you watch a speech, okay? Who do you want to see those comments? Do you want the class to see them? If that's the case, it's open peer review. Do you want just the speaker to see them? If that's the case, it's private. If you want to allow your class, your students, to provide feedback to their classmates, but you only want the presenter, the speaker, to see that feedback, then you want to do closed peer review. That means that, let's say you have Brendan comment on Dan's speech, and Karen is the instructor. If you only want Dan to see if you don't want Dan to see the comments made by Brendan and the instructor, then you want to do closed peer review. I think that kind of makes sense. Okay, closed peer review. Now, this is where the graded option here. How do you want to grade it? If it's just points, okay, if you just have an assignment that is worth 10 points and all the students have to do is they have to complete it, then you want to do points, because what that means is when you go through and you actually grade it, you're just going to hit 10, right? Okay, you got all your points, or 8 or what have you, okay? If you want to get a little bit more kind of thorough in your grading, you want a full kind of rubric here, okay? So this is my speech grading form. I'm actually going to share it right now. Dr. Kessel taught me this yesterday, and I really, really appreciate it. So save. Okay. Is it moving? All right. So hold on. Let me show you what I mean here. Okay. All right. So let's go back one step here. Okay, rubric. You're not going to have any rubrics, okay? I can see mine because I created it. All you're going to see is new rubric. If you want to start from scratch and create a rubric, this is what you're going to want to do. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. Another option is you can actually use the rubric of another professor. In this case, Rich has added his. I'm going to actually add mine, so you're free to use that if you want. If that's the case, you just select it, and then you hit OK, and you'll be using the grading rubric of Rich or me, or if you choose to create a new rubric and share it with everybody, they can use yours. All right, so before I go and create a new rubric, I'm actually going to share my speech grading form before I forget. Sam's speech grading rubric. Okay. Grading rubric. There we go. Does it work? Save. Okay. Let me see if this is available. There we go. Cool. All right, so it's there. All right, so let's pretend that you don't want to do that. You don't want to use my rubric or Rich's rubric or anybody else's who uploads that rubric. You actually need to create a new rubric. Excuse me. Create a new rubric. All right, so if that's the case, this is going to take you here. You can create a name for your rubric. Let's see, speech grading. Let's see, test speech grading. And you can start creating this thing. All right, so let's say you want to create a category. We're going to call it verbal delivery. All right, cool. You can add a description if you want. Add whatever. Now you can add multiple kind of multiple graded areas of a given category. So let's say verbal delivery, volume, voice, volume. Okay, cool. Now I can adjust how much it's worth. You can add a title, poor, okay, fair, good, great. Add a description. It was really bad. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, you can also drop in a text response if you want here. Again, you don't have to use any of these things. These are just kind of tools that you can drop in. Let's call it feedback. Actually, let's call it comments. All right, here we go. Now, type your response. Okay, and what that will allow is when you go and grade your student's speech, you'll have an area for comments. Okay, so as you can see, this particular category, this particular area is worth 5 points. You can adjust it. Let's say you have eye contact worth double your other stuff, and I can actually go in, adjust it, 8, and 10. And as you can see, that actually changes our grand total up here, which is what your speech is going to be worth. Okay, so that's done. Take some time. I'm gonna take a moment here and say this is not crazy time consuming. I went in and actually the first time I used GoReact, I did my rubric. I kind of took what I had and I moved it over to GoReact, and it took me about 20 minutes. On the front end, it is that 20 minutes, it is that 25, it is that 30, however long it takes, but you have a rubric that then you can then use into perpetuity. So if we decide to go with GoReact in the summer, in the fall, you will actually have a rubric that is there that you can use that will go from class to class, that will transfer over from course to course, and you can use it. So it's really worth, if you're going to be teaching a class in which you're going to have a presentational element, taking the time to build out a good rubric, in my opinion. All right, so save and close. All right, now, other options. Multiple cameras. You're going to want to select this option if you want your students to do a group speech. What's going to happen is you're going to create that speech. I'm not going to show you how to do it now, okay? But you're going to create that speech. You're going to create that assignment, and then you're going to coordinate and have your students coordinate a time to actually log on to Blackboard, click on the assignment, open it up kind of the same way, right? They would click here. Okay, they would click here and open it up, and they would create that assignment together. Okay, so there would be kind of a waiting room, a virtual waiting room, if you will, of students. They'll jump into that assignment, they'll record it together. So feel free, if you're doing classes in which there are group activities, to use this tool to continue having that same kind of learning experience for your students. All right, I'm going to uncheck that. Allow live review. That's if you're actually reviewing a student's speech or you're having others review a student's speech live. If that's the case, I'm not sure that many of you are going to do that. Kind of hard to coordinate. Single recording attempt, time limit, presentation slides, whatever. If you have a PowerPoint requirement for that speech and you need students to upload it, you're actually going to want to select this because it's going to prompt them to upload those PowerPoints. Okay, marker set. Let's see if Rich shared his. He did not. Okay, which is totally fine. Marker set. These are keyboard shortcuts that you can use while grading a speech. All right, so let's say poor eye contact. All right, I didn't spell that right, but whatever. Poor eye contact. Nice tone. All right, okay. Now what's going to happen is when I go and grade a speech, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you how to do that at the moment, but actually I'll go back and I'll show you my online public speaking class, just to give you an idea. These are shortcuts that I can just click and, yeah, I'll just be able to click and kind of show, I'll be able to click and kind of add in, okay? I really hope you can hear me. My video kind of froze up. All right, let's see here. Okay, that's good. Student rubrics. This is if you wanted a rubric that is for your students to use to grade each other, to review each other, you can add it in there. A structure attachment. You can actually record a new video. This would be maybe where you have a video explaining to your students real quickly what they need to be doing for a speech. Okay. Or what for the assignment. Hey, don't forget if you had to upload your speech, if you got any questions, let me know, that kind of stuff. Recording instructions, yada, 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 same kind of stuff. Okay, done. All right, now we have this area where we have an assignment set up. So I'm actually going to close this window, go back here. This is what your students are going to see. They're going to click on assignment number 1. They're going to start assignment. They're going to be prompted to, let's see, name the assignment, informational speech. Presenter, that's me. Do you want to add your slides? Add your slides. Now, this is where they can upload a video or they can record it directly from their computer. Okay, so either way, it's up to you. You can kind of decide what I need you to do, what we need you to do, what you need to do. Sorry, I don't mean to be kind of pedantic, but is make sure that you're clear with your students about what they need to do for these assignments. GoReact is great, a big fan of it, and it should be really, really easy to use and to integrate into your classes to keep some kind of interactivity, I suppose, over the next few weeks. Okay, so that's that. Let me show you an example. I'm going to show you now kind of what things look like if you once you want to start grading speeches. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my public speaking page. This is my course. I have rearranged it in kind of different ways. So if you don't see these buttons, it's because I've rearranged it in ways that work for me. Okay. Now, if I want to grade those speeches, I have to go down to Grade Center. I go to Full Grade Center. Let's move things over here. All right. Let's see if they have a speech topic. Where are my speeches? Tell a story. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, but you will. You'll see students. You'll get what'll happen is when they've submitted their video, you're going to get an exclamation mark here. Okay, and what that means is you can actually go in and review your student speeches. You can grade them. Okay, so you're going to see that yellow exclamation point. You're going to click your down arrow, your drop down arrow, go to Grade User Activity, and that's going to take you. Wait, shoot, I hit the wrong one. Dang it. There we go. All right, it's going to take you to this page, your GoReact page. You'll see ungraded because you haven't done them yet. But what you're going to do is you're going to see a list of your students who have submitted their assignments. Cool? All right, so you select them, you click on them, you watch them.
Hello,
there
my
we
name
go.
is Cass.
Cool, and you can leave comments. Nice introduction. Boom, there you go. Timestamps it, marks it. It's perfect for your, yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that works. Okay, cool. What I was talking about with markers is if you create those markers, those shortcuts, those keyboard shortcuts, they're going to show up right here. Okay, and you can just click on them and add them to there. Once you're done, right, you can leave. You'll see a total up here, and you're all set to go. And what happens is, see, I close up shop here back. That automatically then integrates or transfers your information, your grade, the point total that you gave, over to Blackboard, and students will be able to see how they did on their speech. That's the case right here. Cool. Unfortunately, I don't have a big speech that has been completed yet for my class to kind of show you how the grading rubric works while you're watching a speech, but hopefully that gives you an idea of how to use GoReact. Again, if you have any questions, please just reach out to me and I will help you figure this out. Yeah, it's a great tool. Use it as much as you want. Use it in whatever classes that you have. That's how you go ahead and integrate it. All right. Again, if you got any questions, just let me know.